Hi everyone! Today we'll be talking about some Japanese fish. But first, let's talk about perseverance. And here is the dictionary or Google definition. But think about, when was there a time that you had to persevere? And why did you continue to persevere? But before we move on, I just want to say that you can try something over and over again, but it only takes one successful attempt. And this includes bad habits for people who want to stop binge eating or people who want to stop procrastinating. It's kind of like the saying, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, but teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. So in this case, you shouldn't take the easy route or the easy way out. It's sometimes better to persist and persevere through the challenges for a better life. So this is the legend of the koi fish, or the koi fish story, and I will put a link to the video down below. But in the story, as a short summary, the koi fish wanted to swim upstream and they find that there's a waterfall. And some koi fish just turned away and left because they didn't even want to try to tackle the challenge of the waterfall. But some others persevered and they continued to jump up the waterfall and they'd fall back down and they'd have to do it again because the first time they weren't successful. So they would keep doing that, and some koi fish did that for over 100 years. And that one successful attempt for that one koi fish, they got on the top of the waterfall, and then it was such a great feat that from the heavens above, the koi fish was granted the chance to become a dragon. So they became a dragon. So why we talked about perseverance was because in this story, the koi fish were able to try something over and over again until they achieved success. And of course, trying the same thing over and over again may not work, but each time reflecting and modifying what you're doing to make a better solution, that's something that's worth trying. So let's talk about carp versus koi fish. What are the differences? So koi fish are actually a type of carp, and the biggest difference between a carp and a koi fish are their color and their physical appearance. So koi are colorful, but carp are usually darker colors, such as golden brown. Koi fish are often larger than carp. In average, carps are about 15 to 27 inches, and koi fish are about 24 to 28 inches. But there are physical differences in the scales and the fins and the body shape, so not just color. Koi fish actually originated in China and are heavily associated with Japan today. They're actually the national fish of Japan, and koi comes from the Japanese word for carp. So in Japan, the word koi fish or koi can describe any type of carp fish, versus in America where we make a little bit of a distinction between koi and carp. So koi fish also eat aquatic insects, plants, and algae. They can live for over 25 years. They're very important and beautiful, so they're considered very important in many East Asian cultures, and they were actually originally brought to Japan as a source of food. So that may raise the question, can you eat a koi fish? Technically, yes, because they're not poisonous. However, koi fish would taste very similar to carp fish, though carp fish are eaten around the world, but it's very uncommon to eat this like prized fish. It's very expensive, it's very valuable and meaningful to cultures, and it may taste like mud or have a very strong fishy flavor because you are what you eat. So especially in Western carp, they have more trashy or muddy environments, so they would taste more like mud. Koi fish usually are bred in clean environments, however, they may still have a very strong fishy flavor. And based on the article from My Backyard Life and Slow Fishing, they talked about you can technically eat a swan, but that doesn't mean you should. So, because of this, technically yes, but it's very uncommon and as a very prized fish, people may not approve of it. But in the continuation of talking about fish that are very important to Japan in terms of eating are salmon, tuna, mackerel, squid, shrimp, and crab, and there are so many more. The Japanese people were originally rice farmers, so they didn't have as much access to proteins other than fish, which is why fish is so important. And Japan actually consumes about 6% of the world's fish harvest and imports more seafood than any other country. So now let's talk about koi and their symbolism and the comparison with samurai. So in Japanese culture, koi fish are actually associated with samurai warriors. And these warriors are known for their strength and their loyalty and their bravery. And because of the story before about perseverance, they're associated with that, with strength as well. And when a koi fish is caught, it actually stays still and it kind of accepts its fate, which is similar to how a samurai would in honor. So some symbolisms of carp and koi fish are: carp symbolize love and affection, while koi symbolize love, affection, beauty, prosperity, friendship, kindness, good luck, strength, and perseverance, and are considered living jewels. And black koi fish, and this is just to go into different colors of koi fish, are meant to represent like masculinity, and gold koi fish are prosperity and well-being. Blue koi are considered tranquility, and red koi fish are strength and power. So there are so many different varieties of koi fish, and this is just a little bit of an idea of different colors that they might be. So now koi fish and fish in general are so important in Japanese culture and in many East Asian cultures, so here are some examples of them in art. And this is more modern day art. They're said to swim in pairs. But now, let's learn a little bit more about the Koinobori. And this means carp streamer. And you can see they look like carps. So they're usually made of fabric, and that lets them fly or like flutter in the wind, which is kind of similar to fish swimming. It's actually a type of windsock, and this is traditionally flown in Japan on Children's Day. And the flowing these koinoboris represents hope for a child's good future and hope that the child will grow up really healthy and strong. So let's make a Koinobori craft by SquirrellyMinds. A link to her blog will also be down below. So for this, you'll need some toilet paper rolls, and you can just use a piece of paper rolled into a tube form and glued down. Colored pencils, markers, crayons, paint, or other decorating supplies. Tissue paper, which is optional. If you don't have tissue paper, you can just color and decorate your own paper. Chopsticks or something similar. Glue or tape, scissors, and string. So what you'll do is you will take tissue paper or normal decorated paper and you will cut it into circles, and you'll cut each circle into half so you'll have little scales. Also cut some strips of paper. So you'll glue these circles around, and you can see in the image provided by SquirrellyMinds, and you will go around and make them into scales. And the first row of scales, or the end of the fish, should kind of come off the edge of the tube. So you'll also use a blank piece of paper or a scrap piece, and you'll draw some eyes on that, and you can glue that on. Once you glue the little strips of the paper, and this is the side where the scales come off of the tube a little bit, then you'll have your fish, and you can take some string and tie it around the chopstick or other wooden stick and tape or glue it into the inside of the toilet paper roll. And then you'll have a Koinobori. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the class, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!